Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Alicia Walker, and I'm a College and Career Readiness Specialist with Newton County. Today we have Business and Industry Day as part of Newton CTAE Awareness Week. Our presenters include Ms. Sarah Hall, Vice President of Project Development with Newton County Industrial Development Authority, Mr. Bob Mackey, CEO of the Boys and Girls Club, Mr. Tony Brooks, Marketing Teacher with Newton College and Career Academy, and Dr. Tracy Scholler with Georgia Gwinnett College. Just a little housekeeping. If you have any questions, please put them in the question box and we'll get to those. We will have a Q&A at the end of the webinar right around 1 o'clock. And also just make sure you do that since you don't have a chat box. And now I'll turn it over to Mrs. Hall.
Hey, Alicia, hope you're well, and thank you for having me today. It's great to see those that I can see, and it's great to see the names of the people that are listed here on this list. So as mentioned, from Alicia, I am Sarah Hall, and I'm with the Industrial Development Authority here in Newton County. Our main role and goal and objective is to bring in new industries into the community, help retain those that are currently here, and also help sustainability of our workforce and our workforce pipeline, and work with the educational system to be able to do that. So I get the fun job of seeing the products before they really come to the table, and then also working through with them as a long-lasting relationship and coming to the community. And so it's really exciting, and I appreciate all the work that the school system has done and each of the partners through CTAE. Dating myself and many of you, CTAE wasn't established when I went through Newton County school system. And so I think that the world of offering new pathways and ideas is really invigorating rather than just choosing one course, one path. In my profession, I definitely didn't go to school for what I do right now. But that doesn't mean that I don't take the building blocks that I learned going through school and going through post-secondary in what I do today. And I think that makes all the difference in how we are able to recruit and how we're able to educate others about the programs that we have. So I won't spend too much time, but except for to say that the most exciting thing I get to do today is sell the community that makes every single Cheerio in North America. I sell the community that gets to have all the golf balls that Tiger Woods plays right here in Covington, Georgia. Every time you go and have a surgery or you're in the hospital, and it's going to sound weird, but you use a catheter, it's made right here in Covington, Georgia. Or the new product that Takeda is inventing right now to work and sell on antibodies for the COVID-19 vaccine, that product is getting made right here in Newton County. If you drive a Chrysler, a Dodge vehicle, or even a Ford, then your brakes, your molding was made right here in Newton County. And there's so many other products that we can just continue to go on and imagine, but all that was either thought of, invented, created, packaged, and sold out right here in Newton County. And beyond that, there are people at every single level to be able to touch them, whether it's accounting or finance, or it's in marketing or sales, or whether it's in development. So there's a world of opportunity right here in our own hometown. And I hope that when we continue on and as we bring in new companies, such as the social media giant like Facebook to our community, that it opens a whole new window of ideas and design and creativity that could really happen here in what we like to call our home. Let's be proud of our home. Let's move our home forward. It takes us all. Our chairman, Marcelo Baines, likes to say we're one Newton, and I definitely agree with that. It's one Newton to make every product of our lives, and especially the ones we have right here in Newton County. So again, thank you for your time. Alicia, I'm happy to take any questions or ask from anybody. But again, happy CTAE week. CTAE makes the world run. Thanks. Uh-oh, you might be on mute.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah, for being here. I really appreciate it, telling you all the great things that's happening in Newton County. It's amazing. We want students to stay here in Newton County and make it prosper, so I really appreciate your insight on that. Next, we'll have Mr. Bob Mackey coming on.
Sounds great. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Once again, I'm Bob Mackey, President and CEO for the Boys and Girls Clubs in North Central Georgia. I run a fairly large territory spanning from Barnesville, Lamar County to Newton County, Morgan County, Jasper County, Putnam County, and Greene County. Oh, can't forget Walton County. I do apologize. But I'm all about community relations, and what we do is we create an opportunity to enable all youth, especially those who need us the most, to become productive, caring, and responsible citizens. And we do that in just a lot of different ways, but we operate in the after school space. And one thing that I really, really would love for youth to go into is the community relations sector of the community. You know, there's a world of professionals who do nothing but nonprofits, and they're called nonprofit professionals. With that, it's one of the hardest positions ever. And the reason why is the amount of skills that one must possess when you look at everything from business development, community relations, overall skills, knowledge, public awareness, private awareness, the political standpoint. It's all embedded into one position. And I think for me, the enjoyment is more to the fact that kids have another outlet to learn great things. And school is great. I attended college for criminal justice, had a small career in criminal justice for about 7 years. And I decided I wanted to be on the preventative side of criminal justice, which led me to volunteer for a full year with Boys and Girls Club. I've always had a niche for helping people, and I think service is embedded. You know, service is something that you can't learn over time. I mean, it's either in you or not, you know, and everybody is called to serve. You just have to find that vehicle that's going to drive you there. But we teach all the time, you know, TNT, things that take no talent. And one of those things would be never stop asking questions, being inquisitive about what it is you want to do. The second one is we teach, you know, have an unbeatable work ethic. You know, someone may be a bit smarter, maybe a bit more talented, but if they know you're not going to give up, you're going to show up, be the first one, be on time. All of those things take no talent. Also, have an unquestionable heart. That is so important as well, because you want people to know where you stand when it comes to service, know where you stand, unwavering judgment, being able to make a decision and stick with it. And the last thing is, in order for you all to get to places that you've never been, you're going to have to learn to do things you've never done, and you're going to have to get good at them. So the last thing I'm going to leave is to never stop dreaming. And I'm an entrepreneur at heart. And recently I was able to be featured on one of the top television shows of all. So season 12 Shark Tank, you'll see my smiling face and my business partner. We got a deal from Damon John for an invention I made, as Ms. Hall mentioned, right here in Covington, Georgia. So I created the idealist behind the invention, the Yono clip. So we were able to go on the top business show in America. Mark Cuban looked and said, "Hey, that's a brilliant idea." Mr. Wonderful didn't have, you know, anything terrible to say. So that's wonderful in our eyes. But just never stop dreaming, because your ideas, your thoughts with work ethic and determination and that heart piece can take you anywhere in the world. So that's a bit about what I do, community relations, one-on-one. Find something you love to do and get good at it, and you can help people further your impact and their impact as well. And that's all. Sorry about that.
It's fun, Mr. Mackey. Thank you so much, and that is awesome about your product. What is it called again?
It's called the Yono clip, Y-O-N-O. And you can check it out. The students can look at the episode on abc.com under Shark Tank, and it is there. So yes.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank
We may
you.
have questions at the end that he may ask you some questions about how you got there and how you got started. So,
Yes.
um,
Sorry, interruption. If you have fifth lunch, please allow your associates to pick up their lunch.
I wish I had fifth lunch.
Me too.
my apologies. Next, we have Mr. Tony Brooks with the College and Career Academy. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to come before you. Mr. Mackey, I don't have a product right now to put on Shark Tank, but I can assure you that I'm responsible for these kids learning how to think and become entrepreneurs. I love every minute of the days that I've spent for the past 6 years teaching students entrepreneurship, marketing, sports and entertainment perspective, as well as fashion, merchandise, and retail. I spent 35 years in corporate America as a general manager, as a procurement officer, as a vice president of operations, as a purchasing manager and director, as a premiums and promotions buyer. So I've run the gamut of experience and opportunity. And one day I was called away from all of that to bring my talents to the classroom. And I actually thought I was being called to preach. But teaching and preaching is pretty much the same. So I find myself in a pulpit every day in this classroom teaching students. And it's just been a pleasure to watch them grow, to watch the Career Academy and the marketing departments in particular prosper and thrive. This past year, we have 11 students, the first in the history of the Newton College and Career Academy, to advance to International DECA Career Development Conference. To have 11 kids to go in 1 year is second to none. And oh, by the way, did I mention there's a pandemic going on? So the kids had to do all this stuff virtually. It took a lot of work on my part, but it also took a lot of dedication on the students' part to stay with the program, to continue to focus their efforts in getting better every single day. And that's what I take a lot of pride in, seeing my students develop. I too am a lifelong learner. I'm brutally finishing up a graduate school course to get a certification, because when I decided that I was going to be a teacher, I went back to school to actually do it the right way, to get an MAT certification and licensure. So I didn't cheat on the TAP program. I actually went through everything, every painstaking initiative that it takes to get better. And I believe my students are better off for that. I teach marketing. I teach marketing in a sexy way by offering sports and entertainment, fashion, merchandise, and retail. But at the end of the day, it's about marketing management, leadership, and entrepreneurship. And those kids have done a fantastic job. They've been exposed to the community here in Newton County and what they have to offer. We've participated in the Rivers Alive cleanup. We try to do that every year. The Fuzz Run that we have. I was a member, thank you, Sarah Hall and Dr. Tim Smith, for allowing me the opportunity to participate in a business with Connect Newton. I spent a summer internship with SRG Global, which is one of those manufacturers that was mentioned earlier about making automobile parts. It enabled me to take a look back into what's going on in corporate America and to make it relevant in the classroom to ensure that I'm still teaching the right skills for the kids to be relevant when they leave us. I'm also fortunate enough to have these kids for 3 years, which means that when they finish with my program or my pathway, they actually earn college credit for marketing principles. So that's one of the classes they can actually skip when they come to Dr. Scholler at the Gwinnett college. So that's one of the things that I'm very excited about, the fact that the pathway means something here, and the kids are actually matriculating and learning towards an advanced degree. I also run a school-based enterprise. I have a coffee shop. I was fortunate enough to be a regional director for Starbucks Coffee Company before joining as a teacher. So I know a little bit about coffee, but the kids run that as a business. So they spend the first year in the classroom. Their second and third year, they're actually applying what their knowledge of marketing principles in a real school-based operation. So they learn inventory control, customer service, stocking, cashier, order taking, and they run it. In fact, I'm sitting here talking to you all. I have one student running that store today, and that's Will Standard. He's one of my level 3 students. He's doing a phenomenal job. So that's kind of what I do. I could talk all day because I love people and I love to talk, but I'm going to be quiet. But I would like to share one thing with you guys. There's a little video clip of what we do at the Newton College and Career Academy as it relates to my pathway. So if you guys can bear with me, I'm hoping that this will work. All right, let me see if I can cue it on up. Uh-oh, wrong item.
Hi, Mr. Brooks, we can't hear it.
Yeah, let me see if I can help with that. Let me stop sharing it and see if I can do something with the sound. Can't do it, guys. I'm sorry. Just trying to stop it and see if I could share my computer sound. And it's not taking my sound. Nope. Won't let me, it won't let me do it. Shucks! Shucks! All right. I can't get the sound going, guys, but that was a video that I put together. It was about 1 minute and 45 seconds. It kind of showed what we do in the classroom. There's a transition of me going into the lounge, but before I get into the lounge, just above that doorway is my DECA sign. That's my Career Technical Student Organization that the kids really spend a lot of time doing role plays, writing manuals, and participating at the region, state, and international level with other students that are marketing students. So that's kind of what I do. Sorry I couldn't share the video, but thank you again for the invitation today.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Brooks. I appreciate it. I'm hoping maybe we can see it some other time, maybe, for your video. I know it was awesome. Next, we have Dr. Scholler. Did I say it right this time, Tracy?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, awesome. Who's coming up from Georgia Gwinnett College. Thank you.
All right, let me share my screen. How are y'all?
We're good. I don't think the panelists couldn't talk to you right now.
Okay, awesome. Okay. I'm hearing echo. Great. All right. Thank you all so much for having me today. This is really exciting. It's really inspiring to hear about everything y'all have going, and I'm just really intrigued. And I think I'll be reaching out to some of you with some follow-up questions and maybe some invitations to discuss some of your initiatives further. It's funny, I'm doing some research on dual enrollment right now. We love our dual enrollment students, so I'm glad that you shared that with me today, or with everyone today. And Ms. Walker, thank you for having me today. I'm excited to represent GGC and appreciate you joining to learn more about how you can earn and how you can use a business school degree. My name is Tracy Scholler. I teach marketing classes at Georgia Gwinnett College. I've been teaching at GGC for just about 10 years now. I've seen it grow incredibly fast. It's been really exciting to be part of that momentum. and really rewarding, and I love my job. So what I want to focus on today is first telling you a little bit about GGC, our college, and then about the School of Business specifically. So I'll talk about what concentrations that we offer in the School of Business and some of the goals that we have as faculty for our students to achieve while they're here with us. I'll talk about how we try and engage students both in the classroom and also outside of the classroom. And then end by emphasizing why get a business school degree? Why is it valuable? Where can it take you? And talk a little bit about business related careers, specifically those that are growing right now. Okay. So to tell you about GGC, we were established in 2005 as the nation's first 4-year public college founded in the 21st century. And we were the first 4-year public institution created in Georgia in over 100 years. Every year since 2015, we've been ranked as the #1 most ethnically diverse Southern Regional College. In 2021, we were ranked as the #4 most innovative Southern Regional College and the #20 top public Southern Regional College, all by U.S. News and World Report magazine. We have over 160 active student organizations. So if you want to learn about archery to any astronomy to anything else, we have student organizations that cover it all. We have almost 12,000 undergraduate students. We only have undergraduates right now. That could change in the future. But right now, just undergraduate programs. And of those programs, we have over 45 programs of study. So there's a lot of flexibility, and that gives you a lot of variety to choose from. Probably what's most unique to us is that our average class size, as you see here, is just at 20 students. That is extremely low compared to many other colleges and universities. And what that means is you have a lot of interaction with your classmates. We can really do group and teamwork in our classes. And you also have a lot of access to your professors. And actually, each of us as professors have students as mentors. So not only do we teach our classes, but we also have a separate group of students that we mentor as they go through the programs. Kind of some fun facts. We have 6 intercollegiate athletic teams that have been successful. We have soccer, tennis, men and women's both, and then we have baseball and softball. And on campus, you can see in the picture, we have student housing for over 1,000 students. We really have a traditional college campus feel. We're right up in Lawrenceville off of Highway 316 on your way to Athens, that other school I see you are proudly representing. I went to Georgia Tech myself, but my husband went to UGA. So we are a house divided. I understand that loyalty. So I really encourage you to come visit our campus. If you haven't before, you can set up a campus tour. So to tell you about the School of Business, we have an enrollment of just under 2,700 students. Our average class size in business is a little bit higher at just over 30 students. And that's because in the School of Business, we teach fewer class sizes, but we literally do not have rooms larger than 40 students that we use as classrooms. So all of our classes are capped at 40. And you can see the gender breakdown and the breakdown in terms of race and ethnicity for our SBA students. We have a growing alumni base, which is exciting. I know coming up this week, I've organized a panel of marketing professionals to teach or talk to our students. So it's nice to be able to tap into that. And also, 93% of our faculty possess a doctorate or other terminal degree. We don't have grad programs, so you're not being taught by graduate students. And we were accredited by ACSB in 2018, which is the gold standard of accrediting bodies for business schools. So that was a very proud achievement for us. You can see here that we have different concentrations. So all students get a bachelor's of business administration degree, but can also choose either one concentration or choose maybe 2 concentrations. And that's what's going to determine the specific classes that they take. Our most popular ones are management and marketing, followed by accounting. Typically, students take general education classes their freshman year, their sophomore year. They may begin taking, or most of them begin taking introductory business classes at the end of their freshman year, the beginning of their sophomore year. And then by junior and senior year, you're really focused on taking classes within your concentration area, both required classes. And then, as you can see here, this is the academic map for our marketing concentration program. At the very end in senior year, you have room for elective courses. So that's really fun for students because that's where they get to pick. Maybe I want to take social media, or I want to take professional selling, or I want to take digital marketing classes and really kind of hone in on what they feel like their what they want their specialty to be. And so in total, we require 123 credits. And this lays out how you could complete that in 4 years for your BBA with a marketing concentration. And we have these maps for all of our various concentrations. So our goals as business school faculty at GGC are to build tomorrow's leaders, to equip lifelong learners with the necessary skills they need to achieve and succeed, to produce engaged and active members of the community and of society. And we do that by promoting a high quality learning environment. We're constantly being involved in professional development to build our pedagogical skills, emphasize student engagement, and commit to continuous improvement. And we have to do all of those things to maintain that accreditation as well. So we aim to provide an engaging experience in the classroom through our teaching practices and activities, but also on campus outside of the classroom. You can see pictures here of a networking night. We do that with alumni, and then also off campus extracurricular activities, for example, through service learning or volunteer activities. And you can see some students here doing some volunteer work. So in our classes, we emphasize experiential learning. We do this through hands-on class activities, through case-based learning, service learning, as I mentioned, getting students involved in active research projects. I know teaching the market research class, we always have students come up with a research idea, often for an organization on campus, and kind of see that through, collect data, use that data to make recommendations. We do a lot of group work and teamwork in the business school, especially in our junior and senior level classes. We have business simulations, business competitions. We have this, going back to entrepreneurship, we have a business pitch competition every year that students can participate in. We also definitely encourage internships. You can do an internship for course credit, and we have a studies abroad program as well. And this picture here is some of my students. We were at the Gwinnett Braves game, I think Gwinnett Stripers now. At the time it was the Gwinnett Braves. And this was them. You can see their notebooks out. They're actually collecting data, doing some observation research on consumer behavior that's occurring at the game and some of the marketing strategies used by the organization. And that was the culmination of their research project, going out in the field, collecting that data, and then they wrote reports and presented that to their classmates and some professors. So you can see here some additional engagement activities that we do on a regular basis. Every year, there's a conference we put on that is managed, put together, brought to life by students. So that's the GEAR conference. We always have workshops, for example, polishing your resume or building a good LinkedIn page. Capstone 101 is just to better prepare students for their capstone class. That's the last class they take in their graduating semester. Volunteer opportunities. SBA Expo is an event we have every semester where you get to meet professors. I believe that's where this picture was taken, where you get to meet professors and also have the opportunity to interact with representatives from different student organizations. We have an active board of visitors and a corporate affiliates program. So students also have the opportunity to interact with representatives from those companies, networking nights, and more. So we constantly have stuff going on here in the School of Business. We have many business-related student clubs and honor societies. Empowering Business Women of Tomorrow is one that I co-advise. We just started that last year, so that's really exciting. And then I also help with the marketing club. So now I want to talk more generally about the value of a business school degree. About 20% of all U.S. undergraduate degrees are in business, so it's pretty popular. A business school education gives you exposure to a range of fields, and I think that's really valuable because that builds transferable skills that you can apply in many different areas, no matter kind of where your interests fall or where your career path takes you. This lends flexibility and opportunity. And in our business classes, we emphasize critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Like I mentioned, we incorporate a lot of group work and teamwork. We emphasize building your professional writing skills and your professional oral communication skills. Those are things that we assess and make sure we're doing well. We also emphasize career preparation through our internship program, through all of the mentoring that we do in the professional development we do to support our students, and through interactions with our alumni network. As you can see on this slide, there are a number of different career paths to which you can apply a business degree. Some popular ones: consulting, going into different areas of management, going into different areas of marketing, especially now we have a lot of students going out into digital marketing and content creation, going into public relations, sales, and a lot of analyst positions as well. So employers want those quantitative analytical skills, and we're really trying to ramp up our programs to be able to build those up in our students and make them attractive for the job market. And then of course, you can always pursue higher education through master's degree programs. Georgia State has good ones. UGA has great ones as well. Masters in market research, for example, or digital marketing. And then also, another path is, maybe working and then going back in the future to get your MBA or getting a PhD and allowing you to research and teach in your area of interest. And what I wanted to end with is just showing you a couple of slides here, giving you an idea of some of the most in-demand and highest paying jobs in business, including, and you see this repeated a lot, consulting work, like I said, business analyst, marketing analyst, and different types of management positions in human resources, in marketing, and so forth. We at GGC in the School of Business just added a supply chain concentration because in Gwinnett County, that's a huge sector. So one of our goals is to set students up so they can get jobs that will give back to the local community. So we're constantly kind of keeping a pulse on what's going on and trying to bring that to life. So, and then the other thing I found was this Georgia Department of Labor chart I thought was really cool. It lays out some of the hot careers over the next few years, and some of the, of course, healthcare is burgeoning, and that's not really in business area. You can apply business skills to that area, but some of the ones I wanted to point out are definitely accounting, public relations, human resources, and you see these analyst positions come up a lot. So I know, especially for marketing students, sometimes think, well, I'll concentrate in marketing because maybe I don't want to do as much, my quantitative skills I don't have to use those as much. But the reality is every area of business now, they're expecting you to come out with those quantitative skills. And we're trying to build the programs that will do that and, make you skilled in those areas to be attractive on the job market. So I think that's all I had. Thank you so much. I'll stop sharing now. Let's see. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shaw. There's a lot of information, a lot of great information. I hope some students will actually look into going to your school and seeing what you have to offer. Right now, we'll open up for questions. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat or raise your hand and we will get to you. Gotcha. Well, if there are no questions, we would like to thank our panelists for coming out today. Well, not coming out, but yeah, being available. on Zoom to come and speak to you all about the great things that are happening in Newton County, that's happening in businesses and around Georgia. We thank you so very much. This will be recorded and posted on our YouTube page. So if you want to go back to see it, you will get an email saying what's available for you when it's available. So I thank you all, and I hope to see you again for another presentation from you, maybe in the future. And we're growing our partnerships so much in Newton County that we hope that we will see you again. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.